house, I'll fucking kick you in the balls, guy.
I started recording right in the middle of that rant.
So freaky. Yeah. Look at that. I got a new fucking Boston hat over here. Look at this shit.
Oh, that's nice.
Welcome to Massholes.
Welcome to West Coast Massholes.
Representing guy.
I'm Todd Anderson. That's Josh Wingate. I'm wearing a mask because these plumbers are here fixing my plumbing. And they could pop in at any moment.
You're wearing a mask because you're a weirdo.
Oh, there's a pandemic.
But you're on a Zoom call.
So what? There's a pandemic. So I got a question for you, Josh.
Hey, listen. 177,000 deaths are acceptable, okay? 57% of Republicans say so.
Well, that's cool. I didn't watch any of the convention, did you?
Fuck no. Why would I waste my time?
I don't know. Some people like to hate watch stuff. I don't know. I went grocery shopping.
Yeah, I just do that with The Walking Dead.
I went grocery shopping yesterday at Moore Park. You know, I go out to Moore Park because it's less crowded. And like 50% of the people at this grocery store everyone had masks on because you have to, but 50% of them had the mask like this. Now, what do you think the numbers are in Massachusetts of people who do this because either they're scofflaws or they don't fucking get it?
Probably the same.
You think it's
I'd
probably
say they would relative. I think it's all the same. You know.
Yeah.
Well, I see people posting pictures on the Facebook fucking book about they're all out like hugging each other, all at bars and restaurants, and they're all up in each other's business and bitching about schools not being open, but bowling alleys opening back up, and they just don't want to freaking have their kids around. That's it. They just were like, fucking, I wish my kid would go get COVID so I could put him in the hospital.
I know there's
have to deal with him.
The other thing that cracks me up is, so people hate their kids. That much is clear. The other thing that cracks me up is when people are like, God damn it, why can't I just get on a plane and go visit my family? Like, why do people all of a sudden want to go visit their families? That wasn't a thing.
Yeah, they hate their families. They hate them, but now that they can't go see them, they want to do it. Yeah, and then
they're all mad.
They love their kids. They put pictures of their kids and post it until they're home all the time. And they're like, fuck, what's wrong with this?
My kid,
I don't like these people that much.
My kid was sitting at the bar waiting for his gym class to start. I thought that was funny.
Was he slugging some whiskey or what?
No, he's not. He's not a drinker. He's only 14.
No?
He finds alcohol disgusting.
So?
I know. You're preaching to the choir over here, but he's he's kind of a nerd. It was just funny to me that he's sitting at a bar waiting for fifth grade class to start. That's classic.
Zoom gym class. Really?
Well, his gym teacher is making him jump around. He's jumping around and shit. And he's getting a workout. So there you go.
That's good. I'll give him a workout. I'll freaking do some. I'll come up there. I'll even get a freaking Uber with no mask on and come up there and do some jujitsu and shit. See what happens.
No thanks. After a vaccine, yeah.
And then me and you will do a live makeout session.
No, hard pass. Hard pass on that. Thank you, though. It was very kind of you to offer. I have another comparison question between Massachusetts and here in Southern California. I feel like, because, I'm having plumbing issues, air conditioning issues, a lot of classic homeowner things. And I just feel like the houses in Southern California are not as good as the houses in New England. I feel like they're not solidly built. Everything, like my house feels like it's made of sticks. It's a facade. It's a Hollywood facade. Whereas East Coast homes have serious bones.
Yeah, that I would agree with that. I have worked construction for many a year and done many a remodel out here. I think it goes back to union. Back east, you can't do stuff like that without union labor for the most part. and proper permits, and people are very union friendly, I think, in the back east. So they'll call out people if they're not using union labor. And I just think it's more old school, like hard working, old school, do things by the book, do it the right way, make it solid, make it last brutal winters, you know. I think, and the lack there of stucco. I don't know if you have stucco, but I hate stucco. It's
I don't
stuff like,
yeah,
it cracks. It's so easy. And also, in defense of maybe, let's not to throw every Californian builder under the bus, but the amount of termites out here because of the weather is way worse than New England. And so, yeah, I mean, I've opened up walls that you could blow, you'd be like, and the wood would just, just dust. Yeah, we've so, but it's just shoddy, cheap labor and shoddy materials, like the materials they used to use, like the lath and plaster. I mean, they use lath and plaster back east too, but I don't know. I agree. I would agree. I just see shoddy stuff, especially with like new flips too. They'll a lot of people hire really cheap labor, not to knock these guys that are hardworking. A lot of hardworking cheap labor. You know, a lot of those guys that you pick up a lot of guys. They'll go and they'll find a bunch of cheap labor, day laborers at Home Depot. So they don't really have an ownership of the job. But they know if they just bang it out real fast, they're going to get paid, and then they go home and do whatever. So they don't have the ownership of the or the craftsmanship that I think is instilled, or that I noticed was instilled in back east workers. That's a long answer to your question, but
yeah, that's fair.
That would be my 2 cents.
Yeah, I support your 2 cents. I think you're right. Here's another question, because I don't know if you can hear all the banging that's happening on the other side of the wall here, but are the plumbers back east?
Yeah, I just thought it was in my head.
Well,
I don't know, probably not.
They weren't supposed to show up till later, but they got here early, and I can't feel bad turning them away. They just want to do their work and get out. So here we are. It's awkward.
I think you should like, oh, you're on a computer. I was going to say you should bring the phone in. We should do a live Zoom Massholes with the plumbers. I want to see if they look like, legitimate plumbers. If there's no ass crack showing and they don't smell really bad, then,
no, these guys are well dressed. They're not, they're high end, these guys. You think you need the plumber's crack for it to be legit?
At least the smell. At least have to have that like suspect smell going on. If that's not there, it's like, these guys don't know what hard work is, How many houses were you under today? If you weren't under at least 3 houses today, you can't come in my house. I need to light my candles after you leave for the rest of the day to get rid of your stench, or else no, you can't come in.
They can't get under my house unless they have a jackhammer.
What?
Well, I'm on a slab, of concrete. There's no basement. They can't get under the house. If the house is raised, they can get under. So
last
year,
me you have no crawl space.
Exactly. My old house was raised, so the pipes were, people could get to the pipes. But a lot of the houses in Southern California are built on slabs. So there's no basement, there's no crawl space, and the pipes are under the concrete. So if you have a drainage problem, which I did last year, then the plumbers have to come in and tear up your whole floor and jackhammer into the concrete to find the pipes. And then in my situation,
that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
But that's true. That's how it is here in Southern California.
I've worked construction for many years in Southern California and never saw that once.
Really? It's really common. Yeah. It's common in the valley. In fact,
it must be like a seamy Nazi thing.
Maybe it's a seamy Nazi thing.
We are using the German pipes, so they must be using goodness, and they will not break ever.
Well,
Sorry, Germans. Sorry.
You might,
Sorry, Germans.
you might be right about that. Although it was my understanding that in our old neighborhood in the valley in North Hills, that a lot of the houses were also on these concrete slabs. And when we got a corner lot house with a raised, that was raised, it was considered a get. What's great about this house is it's raised, but a lot of houses aren't.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's just
I do miss that's what it was cool about in back east. You had basements, and like you could, a lot of them were just like dungeons, but you could convert them into nice little cool little living spaces.
My bedroom, I lived in the room with my brother for most of my childhood, like roommates. And then when I got to a certain age, my father realized it was probably a good idea for me to have my own room. So he, with his own hands, built a room in my basement, and that was my bedroom for most of my high school years.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And you loved it too. Could you sneak out? Did you have a bulkhead? Was it a bulkhead?
Yeah, we had a bulkhead.
Outside?
Yep.
So you could like sneak out and sneak your girlfriends or boyfriends or both in. I don't whatever. You could.
No judgment. Cool, no judgment.
Sneak out. And,
yeah.
It's cold.
Yeah, you had to be real careful though, because it was, they're metal and it'd be real loud and
Yeah, we're back.
So I had to be very careful sneaking in and out. But yeah, it was a good thing.
I used to sneak out the bulkhead too because but I had to be super quiet too. It was like a metal bulkhead. And my mother's house at the time was like over 150 years old. So everything moves in that house. Like the wind moves, it sounds like it's gonna fall down. But it's a beautiful house. It's cool, New England home. But she her bedroom was a window, like right second floor above the bulkhead. So I got real crafty. It'd be like a slow, but you'd be like, wait, and then slowly open.
Yeah. It was nerve-wracking. It was very stressful sneaking out. I did it a lot, but it was always terrifying. Because my dad, if he caught you, he'd be real disappointed. That's what he would say.
I'm really disappointed with you, son.
Yeah. And that's all it took.
Take off your pants. Oh.
Luckily he left corporal punishment for his parents, behind with his parents. He didn't do that, which is nice. But he he could be real stern, and when he was disappointed, it was it was scary. It's all psychological.
Yeah. Poor white people.
It's tough being
a white person.
Yeah. My life is really, really hard.
My dad was disappointed with me one time.
Yeah.
So that's you go to your therapist. Well, he told me once he was disappointed in me. That's what you go to therapy for.
Yeah. I failed at therapy.
I'm sorry.
A couple times. It never works out. I think it's because I'm Irish Catholic and from Massachusetts that therapy and me don't work together.
Long Day's Journey into Night. It's like the perfect. It's like you want to understand any Irish Catholic family, just go read Long Day's Journey into Night, and you're like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. No one talks about shit. They all get drunk. No one deals with the problems, and that's it.
But then you go to a therapist, and the therapist looks at you like, I can't help you. I mean,
was it Freud or one of the? I think some famous psych said something about the only impervious people to therapy are the Irish.
Yes,
something like that.
Yes, was that Freud who said that? I remember that saying. I didn't know
it might have been. Yeah.
Well, that makes sense. Are you in therapy right now?
No, but I did go to therapy years ago, and I found it to be quite helpful.
Yeah,
quite helpful. It was great because I was about 38, and I was just like you said, 38 years of my life. Nope, you couldn't break. You couldn't get past a certain point. Like I would not open up. I would get angry, but I wouldn't open up. I'd
Yeah.
use that the old anger defense mechanism. But and then finally, yeah, I got, and I remember it was while I was with my on the outs with my ex, and I was in one of my first or second sessions, and I was just like, well, shut the fuck up, George. I'm trying to be vulnerable.
Sorry, George interrupted you. Go ahead.
And I was just talking about what, she wants this, and she wants that, she wants that. And I'll never forget this young woman. She was, I think she was still even interning. She was still getting her hours. And she just said, well, what do you want? And I felt like I was driving a Mack truck at about 90 at a clip, and I just pulled the e-brake. It was like, big, slow, like spinning out Mack truck. And I was like, what the fuck do you mean? What do I want? I never considered it, but it turned out to be a great question, because then I, had to make some choices for myself. Finally started thinking, well, taking myself into consideration in many ways. So, yeah, I liked it. It was strange. After a while, because I guess it would be modern analysis, maybe. I don't know what the different types of therapy are. And there'd be most of the time I would just go in, and she would sit there, and I would just start flapping my gums for an hour, and she'd be like, okay, time's up. And I was like, oh.
Yeah. I had more the classic Irish conversations where I just would sit there quietly, and he would sit there quietly until finally I found the courage to say something. But that was therapy for me. Well, we need to sign off, so you know what happens.
Fuck you, Nazi!
Fuck you. That's it. West Coast Massholes. Going back to fight crime.
Okay.
This has been a Blursh production. Blursh.